It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a theory slash a breakdown of a scene that was in the latest teaser that they released for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We're going to talk about whether Rick is going to finally lose his hand and whether General Beale is going to take Rick's hand. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. As always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. So of course, this is the scene that we're talking about. This was in the teaser, and it was probably the most intriguing scene that was in the teaser. I don't think anyone is talking about any other scene quite as much as this particular scene. As I said in my breakdown video of the teaser, this is clearly teasing that Rick is gonna lose his hand. Because of course, if you pay attention to the hand, it looks like Rick doesn't have a hand. And it looks like it's a mechanical hand that he has attached to his arm. One thing I do want to mention quick before we dive deeper into the discussion about whether Rick is in fact gonna lose his hand and all of that. There was another scene that was in the first teaser that they released, which I think is from the same scene that we just saw. Rick has the same hammer that he had from the scene before where he was killing this walker, and he's dressed the same. It's nighttime, so it looks like this scene is connected to the other one. So Rick is probably killing the walker here that we see. Some people are mentioning that this is Rick chopping off his own hand or something like that, but that's probably not true. If anything, this is probably a scene that's connected to this scene here. And obviously Rick doesn't have a hand here either, if you want to say that Rick doesn't have a hand here. So the other scene can't be Rick chopping his hand off. That's the first thing. The next thing I want to say is, if you pay attention, it looks like there's chains around whatever that is on his hand, and it's connected to somewhere. So it looks like they're chaining him to something. So CRM is probably chaining him to keep him there as a prisoner. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And of course, that means that it's possible that it's just the angle and the quickness of the scene and all of that that's making us think that this is Rick without a hand. It could just be that Rick's hand is underneath his sleeve. All I'm saying is that it's likely that either they're just trying to throw us off and make us think that Rick is losing a hand here, or lost his hand here, I should say, or it's just the angle that's making it look like that. Now, with all of that out of the way, what are my thoughts? Let's assume that this is Rick losing his hand. Do I like it or do I hate it? I'm indifferent about it. Honestly, in my opinion, the Rick losing his hand has lost its magic. If it happened back in season 3 or 4 of The Walking Dead and the governor did it like the comics, then great. But after that, it just doesn't quite have the same importance, significance, and impact anymore in my eyes. And to make things even worse, I've pretty much closed the chapter in my mind as far as Rick getting his comic arc. The reason for that is because we already saw someone take Rick's arc. As far as his appearance goes, we saw on the original show Aaron lose his hand and he had to use a mechanical hand just like Rick in the comics. So look-wise, Aaron pretty much got Rick's comic arc because he had the beard, he had the look, he had the fake arm. And to make it even worse, they did it to others as well. Like Herschel lost his foot, so some people thought that was the replacement. Of course, later on, like I said, Aaron and then even Lydia lost a hand in the finale or one of the final episodes. So all I'm saying is that they've done that a lot. Like a scene that's sort of close to Rick losing his hand. Of course, with Aaron, his hand was crushed. A villain didn't take his hand, so I get it that it's different. But all I'm saying is that it's lost its impact and its magic. Now let's talk a little bit about the new theory. The theory is that not only is Rick gonna lose his hand, but it's gonna be the general of CRM, Major General Beale, will take his hand from him. So much like in the comics, where the governor took his hand in the TV adaptation, he'll lose his hand now, but it'll be a big baddie, General Beale of the CRM, who'll take his hand from him. And honestly, again, I'm indifferent about it. I think that's better than Rick just losing a hand, but still, I feel like Rick losing his hand has lost its touch for the most part, as far as I'm concerned. Another thing I do want to say, a lot of people are mentioning that because Rick is wearing gloves here, that's not his real hand, and it's like a fake hand that he attached to his arm. So he has like a mechanical arm for some uses when he's killing walkers and stuff, and he has a fake hand like this when he's doing some work where he needs his fingers and stuff like that. I think that's too much, honestly. I don't think that's the case. Some people are definitely bringing that as a possibility as far as what they could be doing. That's pretty much everything I wanted to go through. I think it's likely that Rick did in fact lose his hand, but to me, it doesn't make sense why they would show that in the teaser. It's not even the trailer. It's just the teaser. So because of that, I'm leaning more towards it either being the angle and the quickness of the scene that makes it look like that, or they're trying to throw us off and fake us out into thinking Rick lost his hand. And if Rick truly did lose his hand, I think it's not as impactful anymore and it's lost its magic. When it comes to the theory that General Beale is gonna take Rick's hand, I think that's better than Rick just losing his hand. But again, I'm not a fan of Rick losing his hand now. I don't think it's needed. Like, there's no real reason why you would bring that in, other than the shock factor of it, of course. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.